consequences to your actions. Because this action, you have just become a big walking red flag. There's so many red flags that comes along with this. It comes along with being a single mom that a lot of women really like to ignore. One, you bring in already a burden to your next relationship. Okay? You make yourself hard to be with. Because now your standards are not just yourself, now you include a child into your standards, which makes things hard. And just imagine, you gave a man 6 kids and yet you couldn't make that work. How are you going to make the next relationship work? It's beyond me. And any man would see that as a red flag. How can you give a man 6 kids and couldn't make that work? What would I do differently? This is the thing with women that they don't understand. Like I said, they are a big walking red flag. Already dating a single mom is hard for a man. Because one, now she's bringing along kids. So if he wants to provide for her, take care of her, well, now he has to do that with 6 other mouths, right? Kids that he has to contribute to always, right? Because if you're going to live in the same roof as a man, paying bills, well, that's included, okay? Not just that. Now, dating is hard because already now you have to work around her schedule. Not just her schedule, now her children's schedule. And one of the biggest things, and I've dated single moms, right? You are like the last on the priority list. She has probably her kids, her job, her mom, her whatever, her other families, friends, well before you. Okay? Your needs, your wants, your desires will be last on her priority list. And again, this is the thing, women's entitlement, their ego, why men say, where's the benefit in this? And women argue this, right? What does your children, right, bring to me, right? What's the benefit? There's none. There's only responsibilities. Plus, right, there's no benefit into it because you will have to take care of the kids, financially provide for the kids, right? Potentially protect the kids. But most times, you don't even have a say in how these kids are raised because they're not yours. Right? And it's happened so many times. You will have to pay the bills, the roof over this kid's head, food, right? Any other expenses, and potentially provide, right? Protect the child. Yet you can't even say or discipline or say how this kid is raised, right? Because women will do this, like it's not your child, shit like that. But it is your responsibility to provide because you want to date this woman. So really, there's no benefit. And again, women can never understand men's feelings of I'm taking care of another man's child. Plain and simple. I'm taking another man's child. And then what do I get in return? Really nothing. And women don't treat these men better. Women can't see that. This is a man that would step up and actually take care of you or be there for you and take care of a child that sometimes the father that you chose ain't holding up his shit. Yet these women don't even treat these men all that great. You don't treat these men like kings, which they are. You don't treat these men like how amazing they are for stepping up and actually being the man to, step up to it. Because the man you chose before couldn't. The man you gave a child to couldn't. And let's go back to this particular woman. 6 kids at 22. It shows you that she had kids mad ass young and continuously having kids. It's like it shows you that you are a poor excuse for women and you are a red flag and you are dangerous to be with, right? Because again, she's a poor judging character. She continues to give, it doesn't say that if she gave kids to multiple men or one man, but most likely, or if it's just one man, but either or is both, it is terrible. For you to not understand that, why are you giving kids to men that you cannot be with long term? I just completely, again, I could go on and on with how big of a red flag this woman is, but it's sad.
Okay, let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you? I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
See,
I would never.
but
Because you would never ask me how my kids would be an asset to you.
That's the thing.
That's insanity.
But see, I'm coming from a logical standpoint. You
I
have
don't
to ask
think
those questions.
any woman
And let me say one more
is
thing.
going to let you say, how can your kids be an... No, sweetie.
This is funny because you know what the type of men that she would date? A man that's good enough to impregnate her, but not good enough to be in a long-term committed relationship with her, right? The Pookies, the Ray Rays. These are the women that are fine with those men. But men that's good men, that's stable, that has his shit together, that question makes sense to him because he needs to know why should he even take up this responsibility. Women make it seem like it's not a burden to other men. It is, right? This is why, right? Women like this will have trouble with finding the men that they supposedly want or the men that they ask for, right? That qualifies for their high standards, right? The men that makes a certain amount of money, looks a certain way, act a certain way, loyal, shit like that. That's why they will have trouble finding these men because these men want to know why. Why would I want to take up this responsibility? What is the benefit? Okay, because now I'm coming into this. And most likely these women are wanting the providers, right? Wants to a man that's at a certain stage in his life. So most likely he will be contributing. And most likely he's be contributing more because again, let's hypothetical, you be living with him. Well, it's not just you and him. It's gonna be you and your kids or kid, right? So usually women are not up in arms of paying half of the bills, half of everything. Oh, actually, you're paying more than half because it's not just you. You're paying enough for your child as well. That's the thing where women seem to not understand. Men will have to compensate for that. Men will not have to pay for, if most likely, like I said, women are wanting men to take a more traditional role or be at a certain stage in life. Well, now he has to provide not just for you, but for some other man's child. Where a lot of times he don't benefit in the sense that he can't discipline, he can't raise this child how he sees fit. No, it has to be how you see fit. That's the differences, right? But he has to have the responsibility providing, protecting for this child that's not his. So, you know the men that don't care? The men that don't care are one, the men that she's not attracted to, and two, are the men that, you know what, just wants to hit it and quit it. Because he doesn't see a future with this type of woman. So he don't need to ask that question, right? He don't care. He just needs to have sex with her and he's good. But men that would ask this question are men that actually sees a future with women, with this woman or with other women, with single moms. Because this is the thing, women always ask, oh, what kind of job you do? All these, the women have questions, right? Of men. What's the benefit of being with you, right? What is the benefit of being with this particular man? Wow, ain't that amazing? And yet, when a man asks, what's the benefit for him? It's outrageous. It gets backlash. Women can never cease to amaze me by showing that they are absolute selfish. They're egotistical, narcissistic, and immensely selfish. They only care about what their needs, their wants. They do not care about a man's needs and wants. They don't. And stuff like this shows. And again, you know what? Women like this, it's true. They don't have to date men that would ask this question. But I can tell you this. Men that ask this question are technically, or in my opinion, men that actually commitment minded, actually can see a future with a woman, that actually wants to make a future with a woman, not just have like one night stands, have sex or any of that stuff, right? Momentary stuff. No, he sees a future in it. So he's not going at half-ass, or he sees the responsibilities that comes along with it. And this is the thing when women can't judge men correctly, because a man that asks this is a man that's thinking long term, not momentarily, because men that don't care, well, they don't care about the future with you because they don't see it.
And to everybody that's calling me spoiled because I got 12 kids and I'm in my late 30s and my dad still provide for me and my sister in some type of way, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all mad or something? I'm confused. Oh, you need to be an adult. I've been an adult for a long time. Yes, I live on my own. Yes, I have my own job. However, my dad still pays for some things. So yes, I was a little bit concerned and shocked when he told me that I need to find my own cell phone plan and get off the family insurance. Daddy, why do you want me to spend my own money? Do you not want me to be your daughter anymore? I am shocked. But thank you for the balloons and the gift. But if you can reconsider, because why you want me to spend my own money? If you don't want me to be your daughter no more, just say that. I'm confused. But thank you for the balloons and the gift. I love you, Daddy. But you really need to you need to reconsider.
I'm sorry, her father has failed her and his future generations. The lineage, his grandkids, he's failed. This is the thing. It's not being angry or anything. It's that the irresponsibility, the insanity, right? It's that this is a thing where we are creating a generations of women like this, and we are creating a generation of broken families. This is not productive. This is not healthy for society. So it's not being angry. It's just calling out the BS. It's just calling out the absurdity. Here's a woman, 12 kids in her late 30s. It's like, obviously she doesn't have a man, or obviously she's not with the father of the 12 kids, because she's still dependent on her father. This is the thing where her father has failed her, that he has spoiled her and not educated her correctly. Because now, even in her late 30s, she's still dependent on him, right? She's still spoiled. This is the thing. It's like you're not being an adult when you're actually not taking care of adult responsibilities. You want some other man, right, your father or whoever, to take away your adult responsibilities. Only women have that notion that, you know what, I need a man to take away bills. It's like, then you're not really an adult. Adult handles their bills. They handle their situations in life. No, how you do it is that, you know what, your daddy. And this is the thing, because of how her dad went about it, he's created a spoiled woman. She shows her through her life that you cannot have a productive relationship, and you only made kids out of these having terrible. That's the thing. That is the problem, right? It's not the anger. It's the absurdity of it, where I cannot believe you produce 12 children, right? I cannot believe it, because then you yourself, as how you are, your image as an adult, that's what you're creating. Your children be the same. And again, that's insanity. It's just is. And you know, this is the thing where I'm holding the men accountable. Like, her father have failed her. Because how can you hold this woman accountable when her father bails her out, right? Take away bills, because then you can't grow up. If you're an adult, handle your situation, handle your problems. Do it maturely, right? Do it responsibly. Do it wisely. Be smart. No, because she doesn't need to think. She doesn't need to work hard. So she obviously can make a whole lot of mistakes. And I'm sorry, over spoiling your children will create women like this, create people like this, right? Where you're just delusional into your later years, right? In your late 30s, you're still this delusional. You still think that you're a child in mindset. It's like, this is the thing, women think they have a job makes them adult. No, it's just all adults will struggle. All adults will have to handle shit. It's how you persevere, how you handle things. But by handling things, you let someone else handling it, you're a child. You're literally a child. It's ridiculous. I saw this tweet, and I figured I wanted to talk about it. Why do men find it difficult to marry a woman with a child when a woman has no issue marrying a man with a kid? Here's the thing where women don't understand. In most cases, a man's child will rarely be dependent for survival from the woman that he marries. Okay? So she's a stepmom. Rarely rarely that child's survival is dependent on that stepmom. Like the purchasing of things, financial survival, okay? The protection and provision. That's it. So it's not that big of a burden. It's not that big of a burden. While if a man marries a woman with kids, he will still have that expectations of protecting and providing, but now he has to protect and provide for another man's child. That's the thing where some women don't understand. You are now protecting and providing for another man's child when that child really has no obligation to you, no loyalty to you, no real bond to you. And that child can always switch up. Yes, it may love you as a child, but as an adult, it could care less for you. It could ask for its biological father to walk that person down the aisle or whatever, right? That's the thing where women don't understand. Where the men, the investment of providing and protecting for another man's child is rarely a good investment. It don't make sense. For a woman, if you marry a man's child, yeah, you may bond with it, have some emotional connection, but you're not really investing a whole lot, right? A man has to invest like emotional and all this stuff the same that a woman has, but it stops where she doesn't have to invest finance, right? No monetary investment into this other man's child. Also, let's also think about this. Hypothetically, or most cases, men don't have their children 100%. So in most cases, he will make the woman a priority, or she will know that she is a priority in his life. While for women, most times women have their children most of the time. So you're rarely a priority in a single mother's life. You're rarely a priority. You'll be lucky if you're, I don't know, third, fifth on the list of priorities. So her child, her family, her work, so many other things are more of a priority than men are. That's the thing. So that already tells you, why would you want to marry a woman that makes you so low on that list? And again, her child will always come first. And in this relationship, in a man with a child, but most of the times he doesn't have that child, you don't really necessarily go through that problem of him having to pick between the woman or child. And you gotta think about it, right? A man, and this is my opinion, a man that has a child and he showed he's a good father, that's already proof that you are marrying a man that will be a good father. So that's already a proof of that. While men mostly already assume women will be good mothers, right? So really, men don't really think that. It's not really a qualification that men think about. So it's just really different that women don't really see. There are very little benefits marrying a woman with a child compared to a woman without a child. While again, a man with a child, there's very little drawbacks, okay, if a woman does. Plus, like again, if he can support his own child, there's a high chance that he can also support you, and then support the family that you guys would create. And again, if he's a good father, well, obviously he will be a good father to your child or the children that you guys will make. So that's the thing that women seem to not be able to grasp. So this is why women need to understand. Have a child with a man that you can see a future with, that you can't see a high probability or any reason to leave that man, because actions have consequences. And again, men with children are not like this tweet kind of is misleading. Men with children are not like pick up like that, right? Men with children are not like marrying women without children, or having such a success rate. They're not. So
I'm so sorry. I have to ask this last question because it's so important. How do you feel about kids?
I have a son.
Okay. Okay.
And do you have kids?
Yes.
How many?
5.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. Is that a problem? A deal breaker?
I mean, how many of them? What's the ratio?
Oh,
Or,
damn.
like,
Really, I have to go through all of them? Okay. I have an I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 11-month-old.
so fresh.
It's okay. It's okay. I can take it. I promise. I can take it.
I'm gonna have to.
I can take it. I can
I'm
take
sorry,
it.
I
I
don't
can
have
take
one.
it.
Just self-eliminate.
Right.
Samurai. At least it was samurai style. At least it was samurai style. It was
Yeah,
cool.
I knew it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it was just.
He should have been blunt because he wanted to ask how many baby fathers. You know it. You know it. He should have been blunt because that would have said a lot too. But what kind of men do women think they're gonna get with all these kind of mistakes they're making? What type of man? Let's dissect it a little bit. Hypothetically, if she had 5 kids by one man, let's go with that. You couldn't make it work with a man that you chose to give 5 kids to. Good men will see that as a red flag. That you gave 5 kids to one man, and yet you couldn't make it work. That's the thing where men think, oh wait, if you're giving this man kids, you love him, you see a future with him, you see him as a good father, you don't see a reason to separate. Because why would you make your kids go through that crap? Okay, so that's a red flag that you couldn't even make it work with the man you gave 5 kids to. Now, let's do it the other way. Where you have 5 kids by multiple men. God forbid you have 5 kids by 5 different men. That would be insanity. But here's the thing where that's also a red flag. I mean, no matter how you turn it, it's a red flag. I give her credit for asking that question, but this is the thing where women understand what type of man you think you're getting. Because here's a woman, if she had 5 kids by multiple men, don't know how many, but just multiple men, that already shows you the red flag. That you would be with these men that you couldn't make relationship work, you don't see a future with, that you gave these men children. Women don't understand, it seems like women don't understand this anymore. The two most biggest thing, most treasure thing you can give a man is your body and children. And women give it so freely, so easily to, they give those things so easily, especially to the terrible men. To men that they don't see a future with. That's the thing. To men that they would, insult, think lowly of, yet you gave children, the most precious thing you can give to a person, to these men. It's like, what do you think the next, how would you think that you will be attracting good men? Because good men will see that as like, wow, it does not look like a good situation to go into. Because it looks like you're going to repeat that failure. You're going to repeat that mistake. So a good man is usually a smart man too. And he can see that, wow, that's a red flag. These are red flags. And it's not a smart decision. And insane, she has an 11-month-old. So she recently gave birth to a child, and still couldn't make that work. This is insanity. I just want to say, what do these single mothers think? What type of man are you thinking you're gonna get? This is the thing where they can't think, right? Process. Okay, if I made all these mistakes, what type of man would you be getting? You be getting the same type of men that impregnate you. Those type of men, because those type of men they don't care. They're not good men. They don't care. They just want to hit it and quit it. And if they got a child, they got a child. It's not that big of a deal. To those men, children aren't that important, or they don't see children as that level of responsibility. Good men, they value, oh, that's a high level of responsibility. You know, I have to be in a good situation to take on those responsibility. Bad men, they're like, whatever, I have kids. Just more out there, right? But this is things like, it shows you, what are women thinking?